Good evening and welcome to Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. On the show tonight, well, it's been a politically explosive week. We've heard the Prime Minister breaking his silence on the way he's handled all the scandals his government is facing. L.K. Advani has done the unthinkable today and said sorry to Sonia Gandhi. And we're also throwing in some cricket as well. Is all the World Cup hype doing more harm than good to Team India? Well, joining me on the show tonight from Chennai, we're joined by Congress spokesperson Jayanti Natarajan. We're also joined by Sitaram Yechury, Rajya Sabha MP from the CPM, Mr. Chandan Mitra, Rajya Sabha MP from the BJP, Mukul Kesavan, author and historian, and the political editor of the Hindustan Times, Mr. Vinod Sharma. Let's get started right away. In the past, Manmohan Singh has described himself as an accidental politician, an academic economist who suddenly became the Prime Minister. His honesty and personal integrity have never been questioned. But today, as he battles a rash of scams, some under the very nose of his PMO, Dr. Singh's image has certainly taken a hit. Yet, when he was confident enough this week in his interaction with editors to declare that the thought of resigning had not crossed his mind and that he's here for the full term. As we look at his defense and how he's handling the crisis, we ask, is Manmohan Singh really an accidental politician, or is he a great political survivor? That's our first question tonight. And my first question is to Jayanti Natarajan in Chennai. Jayanti ji, what is mystifying to many of us in the media is why we don't have more such interactions with the Prime Minister. And because these interactions are so rare, the interaction itself becomes news, the fact that the Prime Minister is willing to speak to the media. And that's been part of the problem. People don't want silence anymore. They want to hear from him. And this is becoming a serious problem.
Well, I think it's that the Prime Minister had this interaction was a very welcome event. I don't remember many other Prime Ministers in the past having a live interaction with TV editors. Dr. Manmohan Singh has had interaction with the print media a little while ago, I think just a few months ago. So it's not as if he has not had interactions with the media before. But I dare say it's the first time that the Prime Minister in the recent past has had such an interaction with the media. So yes, it's a very open government, and the Prime Minister has taken all the questions that were asked of him head on and answered absolutely lucidly, very clearly, and in a completely straightforward manner.
All right. So you're saying that you don't see the need for him to perhaps interact with the media more, to reach out more? Because one of the big criticisms in the last 6 months has been that as we saw one scandal after another emerge, one corruption crisis after another emerge, what really stood out was the Prime Minister's silence, and people wanted to hear from him.
You know, I don't think there was any question of the Prime Minister remaining silent. I don't believe, and I say this very, very strongly, I don't believe that it's necessary every time that an allegation is made, and I'm not talking about the present issues of corruption that are in the public domain, that are in the Supreme Court, that are being investigated. I'm talking in general terms. Every time an allegation is made by somebody, maybe in the opposition, or maybe somebody with a vested interest, maybe a frustrated a person.
But I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but these are not just allegations. I mean, these are serious issues of corruption that the government is facing. And Nidhi, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
Why,
yeah.
No, but Nidhi, I want to complete my sentence. That is why I prefaced it by saying that I'm not referring to these, but I'm saying I don't think it's necessary that every time an allegation is made that a Prime Minister should come out and deny it. The fact of the matter is action should be taken, and it's being taken now.
Is being taken now. We're going to come to that a little later as well. But Mr. Mitra, you're also an editor. And would you like to see a bigger interaction with the PM, a more frequent interaction, maybe on a monthly basis, not when necessarily there's a scandal that's confronting the government, but so that you know what he's thinking?
Well, I think this is very important. You know, and the Prime Minister in this particular case should have spoken much earlier, because, you know, the entire gamut of scams went on. Media was reporting all this. There was action, there were arrests, fingers pointing straight to the Prime Minister's office, especially on this S-band case. And if the Prime Minister is totally inaccessible, and he never speaks to the media except give a few take a few questions when he's flying in or out of the country,